Imagine you and I are standing in the middle of a busy office, and I ask you one simple question. Are the people here actually productive? If you put on a pair of blue glasses, your vision shifts. Suddenly, you only see numbers. You see exact keystrokes, emails sent per minute, and graphs floating over people's heads. To you, the truth is purely in the data. But put on a pair of red glasses, the numbers completely vanish. Now, you see stories. You notice a stressed manager, an inspired designer, a tired intern. To you, the truth isn't a number. It's in their feelings and experiences. Same office, same question, two completely different realities. This isn't a sci-fi movie or a magic trick. This is the invisible force that drives every scientific discovery, every PhD thesis, and every great study. It is called a research paradigm. Before you can send out a single survey or interview a single person, you have to decide which glasses you are going to wear. Today, we are going to break down the four major research paradigms: positivism, interpretivism, pragmatism, and critical theory in plain English, so you know exactly which ones to put on. In research, a paradigm is your core belief system. It dictates exactly how you will design a study, gather data, and draw conclusions. To understand the paradigms, we first need to understand the three building blocks that make them up. Ontology. What is the nature of reality? Is there one single, unchangeable truth out there waiting to be discovered? Or are there multiple truths depending on who is experiencing them? Epistemology. How do we acquire knowledge about reality? Should the researcher be a completely detached, objective observer? Or does the researcher need to interact with people to understand their reality? Methodology. What specific tools and procedures will we use to find out? Will we use surveys and math, quantitative, or interviews and observations, qualitative? Now, let's look at the four major paradigms using a single example, studying employee productivity in an office.
Positivism believes the social world works just like the natural physical world. It is driven by facts, logic, and absolute certainty.
Positivists believe there is one single objective reality out there. It exists independently of our feelings about it. The researcher must remain completely detached and objective. Your personal biases cannot influence the data. In positivism, you choose to rely on numbers, statistics, experiments, and large surveys. The second paradigm, interpretism, believes that human beings are too complex to be studied like chemicals in a lab. It focuses on meaning, experiences, and context. The ontology of interpretism believes there are multiple subjective realities. Reality is constructed in people's minds based on their unique experiences and cultures. The epistemology of interpretism states that you cannot separate the researcher from the subject. Knowledge is created through the interaction between the two. The methodology is qualitative. You rely on in-depth interviews, focus groups, and participant observation. The third paradigm, pragmatism, comprises of the people who are tired of philosophers arguing about reality. They believe that the best paradigm is whichever one solves the specific problem in front of you. The ontology of pragmatism is reality is constantly changing and depends on what works at the time. The epistemology of pragmatism says knowledge is whatever is useful to solve a problem. The researcher can be both objective and subjective, depending on what the situation requires. The methodology can be mixed methods. Pragmatists happily mix surveys and interviews in the same study. The last paradigm, critical theory, believes that society is fundamentally unequal, shaped by historical power struggles like class, race, or gender. The goal of research isn't just to learn about the world, it is to change it. The ontology of critical theorists is reality is shaped by social, political, and economic power dynamics over time. The epistemology of critical theory is that the researcher and the subjects are linked. Knowledge should be used to empower oppressed groups. The methodology is often qualitative, but can be mixed. It relies heavily on participatory action research, where the people being studied help design the research. Remember, there is no single best paradigm. There is only the right paradigm for the specific question you want to answer. Once you choose your lens, the rest of your research path becomes clear. Please comment below the topic that you want Professor Ape to explain in the next video. Do comment or leave a thumbs up if this video helped you. Goodbye.